You are not here by accident. Something brought you to this exact moment. And if you stop right now, if you are honest with yourself just for a second, there is a good chance that something inside you is still carrying a wound. Not the kind that came from a stranger, not the kind that came from someone you never trusted. It came from someone you loved. Have you ever felt that kind of pain? The kind that does not announce itself? It does not arrive with noise. It just settles deep in your chest, quietly, like a stone that will not move. You go about your day, you smile when you need to, you keep functioning. But at night, when everything finally goes still, it is still there, waiting. And the heaviest part is not even what they did. The heaviest part is the question underneath it all. Why? Why them? Why now? Why the one person I gave so much of my heart to? Think about the sharpest wounds you have ever carried in this life. The ones that changed something deep inside you. The ones that shifted how you saw yourself, how you saw people, how you saw the world. Now, ask yourself honestly, where did those wounds come from? From a stranger? From someone you never opened up to? Number they came from the ones you chose. The friend who knew every fear you kept hidden. The family member who had been beside you since the very beginning. The partner who held your hand through the hardest seasons of your life. The one you trusted with the parts of yourself you had never shown anyone else. And somehow, the very trust you placed in them became the thing that was turned against you. That is not just painful. That is one of the deepest confusions a human heart can experience. Because you are not just processing what happened, you are carrying the weight of not understanding why the person who knew you the most chose to become the source of your greatest hurt. And then comes the quietest and most dangerous thought of all. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I was too open, too trusting, too much. Maybe the way I love invited this. I want to stop right here. I want to speak directly to you through this screen. In this moment, it was not your fault. But I also need you to hear something else just as clearly. What happened to you was not random. It was not simply bad luck. It was not poor timing or a simple misunderstanding that got out of hand. What you walked through was specifically designed for someone who carries what you carry inside of them. The Bible says it directly in John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. The attack that came through the person you loved was never truly about them. It was always about the light inside of you, the purpose you were born carrying, the mission that you have not yet fully stepped into. You were not punished. You were targeted. And there is a very specific reason why the attack came through love and not through hatred. Understanding that reason is one of the most important truths a chosen one will ever come to know. The enemy does not attack what you hate. He attacks what you love, because that is the only door you never think to guard. If what I just said touched something real inside of you, please take a second right now and hit that like button. It costs you nothing, and it tells me that this message found the right person. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what comes next. And leave one word in the comments below. Just the word chosen. That is all. I want to know you are here. I want to know you are still standing. Now let us go deeper together, because what I am about to share next is the part that most people never hear. And once you understand it, you will never look at what happened to you the same way again. Here is something that almost nobody is willing to say out loud. The spiritual enemy does not come through your weaknesses. He does not come through the places where you are already broken. He comes through the places where you are most alive. He comes through the people you love the most. Not because love is a weakness, but because love is the one place where your armor comes completely off. Think about how you show up around a stranger. There is a natural awareness in you, a quiet alertness. Something inside you stays ready without you even telling it to. You are open, but you are not completely unguarded. But with the people you love, you lower everything. You let them see your dreams before they have fully formed. You let them hear the fears you carry in the middle of the night. You share the prayers that are too fragile to say out loud anywhere else. You give them the full map of your heart. Every corner, every hidden room, every door you never open for anyone else. And that is exactly where the attack finds its way in. Not through the locked doors, through the open ones. This is not a new strategy. When you look at the lives of the greatest chosen ones throughout all of history, a pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Joseph was not betrayed by a stranger. He was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, the ones who grew up beside him, the ones who knew his dreams. David, a man chosen after God's own heart, did not face his deepest wounds from a foreign army. His greatest sorrows came from within his own household. And even Jesus, who carried the purest light this world has ever known, was not handed over by a soldier or a government official. He was betrayed by someone who had sat at the same table with him, someone who had walked beside him through 3 years of miracles, someone he called a friend. This is not coincidence. This is not simply a sad pattern of human nature. This is a spiritual law. The Bible speaks directly to this reality in Psalm 41:9. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, one who shared my bread, has turned against me. This verse was not placed in Scripture to bring despair. It was placed there so that every chosen one across every generation would have a moment of recognition. A moment where they could exhale and say, I am not the first. I am not broken. I am not alone. Now here is the part I need you to hold very carefully in your heart. The people who have come against you are not necessarily evil people. Most of them did not sit down and plan to destroy you. Most of them are not even fully aware of what has been working through them. There is a force operating in the spiritual realm that recognized what you carry, long before you fully recognized it in yourself. And it understood something very clearly. Sending an obvious enemy would only make you stronger. An obvious threat makes a chosen one pray harder. It makes them press deeper into their purpose. It makes them hold on tighter to the things that matter. So the strategy was never to send an enemy. The strategy was to send it through love. Because when the wound comes from love, you do not fight back. You go quiet. You become smaller. You question everything you thought you knew about yourself. You begin to wonder if maybe you are the problem. And in that wondering, in that slow, quiet self-doubt, you stop moving forward. You stop speaking. You stop shining, and the world loses something it was waiting for. The plan was never to hurt you. The plan was to stop you. Because a chosen one who is in pain still moves forward. But a chosen one who doubts themselves goes completely still. And here is the law that is going to begin setting you free from this moment forward. The intensity of what has come against you is in direct proportion to the size of what you were called to carry. Chosen ones with a significant mission will always face resistance that matches the weight of that assignment. This is not theory. This is something you can trace in your own story if you look honestly at the timeline. You have not been targeted because something is wrong with you. You have been targeted because something inside of you is powerful enough to be a threat to the darkness around you. Receive that today. Let it land in the deepest part of you. The door they used against you was your love. And even in that, God has not looked away from you, not for a single moment. He sees you in this. He sees exactly what was used against you and exactly what you have been carrying alone. And He is working something out of this season of your life that you cannot yet fully see. But that will one day leave you breathless with understanding. Now, if you are still sitting with any doubt about whether this is truly what you are living through right now, the next part of this message is going to remove that doubt completely, because there are very specific signs that appear in the lives of chosen ones who are under this exact kind of attack. And when you hear them, one by one, you are going to recognize yourself in every single one. We have already talked about how the attack came through. Love. We have already talked about why it was designed to work exactly that way. Now, I want you to do something with me. For the next few minutes, I want you to set aside everything else and just be completely honest with yourself. Because I am going to name 7 very specific signs. And as I go through each one, I want you to notice what happens inside you. Notice what tightens in your chest. Notice what suddenly clicks, because your spirit already knows the truth. It has always known. It has just been waiting for your mind to finally catch up. Sign 1. They made you doubt your own perception. You would feel something. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a quiet, knowing deep in your gut that something was off. A gentle inner signal that said, "This does not feel right." And then they would speak. They would look at you and say, "You are overreacting. You are too sensitive. You always read too much into things." And because you loved them, because you trusted their voice more than you trusted your own, you chose their version of reality over yours. Over time, the voice inside you grew quieter, not because it was wrong, but because you started believing it was broken. And that is when the real damage began. Not when they spoke, but when you agreed. Sign 2. Their words of care were the very thing quietly pulling you down. It was not shouting. It was not harsh criticism you could clearly identify and push back against. It came dressed in concern. It came wrapped in the sound of love. It sounded like, "I just do not want you to get hurt. Are you sure you are not taking on too much right now? What if this does not work out the way you are hoping on the surface?" It looked like someone who genuinely cared about your well-being. But underneath every single one of those conversations, you walked away feeling smaller than when it started. Your fire just a little lower, your confidence just a little more uncertain. And here is what real love actually does. Real love adds to you. It increases you. It sends you out of every conversation feeling more capable, more seen, more alive. It does not quietly chip away at the thing God placed inside you. Sign 3. You felt completely emptied after every single interaction with them. No argument had to happen. No confrontation. No single dramatic moment you could point to and name as the problem. You would simply spend time in their presence. And by the end of it, something essential in you was gone. You would sit alone afterward and feel a heaviness you could not fully explain. You would need hours to come back to yourself. Sometimes days. And the most confusing part was that from the outside, nothing looked wrong. The conversation was polite. The time together seemed ordinary. But something in your spirit was quietly registering what your mind had not yet found the words for. Your energy does not lie. Pay attention to how you feel after you leave. Sign 4. They appeared at the exact moment you were about to step into something greater. You could feel it. Something shifting in the right direction. An opportunity beginning to open. A breakthrough forming just ahead of you. A season of increase clearly approaching. And then, almost without fail, something from them would arrive. A crisis that needed your full attention immediately. An emotional situation only you could handle. A conflict that pulled every ounce of your focus away from what was building. And you set everything aside. because you loved them, because they needed you. But I want you to look at the honest timeline of your own story, because this pattern did not happen once or twice by coincidence. It happened consistently, reliably, every single time you were positioned to rise. That is not bad timing. That is a pattern worth examining. Sign 5. Your past was always rewritten to make you the one who was wrong. You were there. You lived it. You know what actually happened. But somehow, every time a past event came back up, the version they carried placed the full weight on your shoulders. In their telling, you were the one who was difficult. You were the one who overreacted. You were the one who did not try hard enough. You were the one who started it. And because they said it with such certainty, and because you are the kind of person who is genuinely willing to examine yourself honestly, you began accepting a story that was not yours. You apologized for things you did not do. You carried guilt for moments that were never your fault. And the longer it went on, the harder it became to remember your own true version of events. Sign 6. The calling God placed in your heart was treated like a daydream someone needed to fix. You opened up. You shared something sacred. A dream you had been carrying quietly for a long time. A direction you felt God placing on your heart. A purpose that had been growing inside you long before you could even find the right words for it. And instead of being received with care, it was dismissed. Sometimes with a small laugh. Sometimes with a look that said more than words ever could. Sometimes with a silence that felt like a door being gently but firmly closed in your face. And in that moment, something tender in you retreated. Not because the calling was wrong, but because the person whose opinion carried the most weight in your life just looked at the most sacred thing inside you and did not honor it. You did not stop believing, but you stopped sharing, and that silence began to cost you more than you knew. Sign 7. You were constantly having to prove your own worth to the one person who should have already known it. With the people who hurt you most, nothing you gave was ever quite enough. The standard kept moving. You kept trying, and still, you never felt fully seen. But here is what you need to hear clearly. You were never the problem. You were the target. You were simply carrying more than the people around you were prepared to hold. But after the external attack runs long enough, something more dangerous begins. You stop needing anyone else to come against you. You start doing it yourself. It happens in 4 steps. First, you begin making yourself smaller. You stop bringing your full self into the room. You tell yourself you are being wise. But quietly, you are dimming the light you were meant to share. Second, you put yourself on trial. The questions come in the silence. Was I the real problem? Am I too much? And eventually, you reach a verdict, guilty. But that verdict was never truth. It was simply the voice of the attack that moved indoors. Third, you walk away from your assignment and call it wisdom. The project gets paused. The message gets shelved. Every reason sounds mature and reasonable, but underneath it all, you are laying down the very thing God placed in your hands. Fourth, you begin drifting from God. Prayer feels mechanical. Worship feels like routine. Not because God stepped back, because you did. The light inside you does not go out because the darkness grew stronger. It goes out because it stopped trusting its own right to shine. The most complete version of the attack is not what they did to you. It is the moment you picked up their voice and made it your own. You do not have to view them with suspicion. But loving someone fully does not mean handing them the authority to define who God created you to become. Every chosen one eventually asks the same question in silence. If God truly loves me, why did He allow this pain to come through the person I trusted most? That question is not weakness. It is one of the most honest prayers you will ever offer. Here are 4 reasons God allowed it. First, He was clearing space you never would have cleared yourself. Not every person was meant to travel your entire journey with you. Some were only assigned to a season. And because you love deeply, you would have stayed and shrunk your calling to keep them close. The breaking point was not punishment. It was release. Second, He was testing whether your mission truly belonged to Him or to human approval. Anyone can move forward when people are cheering, but God needed to know if you would still rise when the voice you trusted most was telling you to sit back down. Third, He was building a level of spiritual discernment you could not have developed any other way. The ability to tell the difference between love that builds and love that controls, between a word of genuine care and a word designed to redirect you. That kind of clarity only comes through the exact experience you just walked through. Fourth, He was turning your deepest wound into your most specific gift. Someone is coming who is sitting in the exact confusion you once carried. And because you lived it, your words will reach them in a way no perfectly composed explanation ever could. Your pain is becoming a language. You were not abandoned in the fire. You were placed there by the one holding it, and the preparation is already working. Now I want to give you something practical, something you can carry with you when you walk away from this message. 5 principles. Not rules, not a checklist. Just 5 things that chosen ones must hold on to when the attack comes through the ones they love most. Principle 1. Stop fighting with their weapons. The moment you respond with bitterness, with retaliation, with the need to make sure everyone knows your side of the story, you have stepped off your own ground and onto theirs. And on that ground, you will always come out smaller than when you started. Not because you are weak, but because that arena was specifically designed to pull you away from the version of yourself that carries actual power. Your strength does not live in winning arguments. It lives in staying rooted in who God made you. Principle 2. Chosen silence is one of the most powerful things you own. Not every accusation that lands on you requires your defense. Not every door that opens in front of you needs to be walked through. There is a version of silence that is simply avoidance, but there is another version of silence that is completely different. It is the silence of someone who knows exactly what they carry, knows exactly who they are, and has decided that not every battlefield deserves their full presence. That silence communicates something that words never could. It says, "What you are doing does not have the power to move me from who I am." Principle 3. Setting a boundary is not a lack of love. It is an act of wisdom. You can love someone completely and still protect the space where your calling lives. Those 2 things are not in conflict. The Bible makes this clear in Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart. For everything you do flows from it. Everything flows from it. Your creativity flows from it. Your faith flows from it. Your capacity to love anyone, well, flows from it. A heart that has been left completely unguarded does not love better. It simply runs dry faster. Guarding your heart is not selfishness. It is stewardship of the very thing God placed His most important work inside of. Continuing to move forward is the most powerful declaration you can make. Every single step you take toward your assignment, after everything you have been through, sends a message, not to them. To the spiritual forces that believed this season would stop you permanently. Each step says, the calling is still alive. Each step says, the attack did not finish what it started. You do not need to announce it. You do not need anyone to witness it. Just keep building, keep showing up, keep serving, keep creating. The movement itself is the answer, and every day you move forward, You are writing a story that no one who tried to stop you gets to control. Principle 5. Pray for them. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve your own freedom. Carrying unforgiveness is like standing in a sealed room and slowly wondering why the air feels thin. The room is not the punishment. The staying is. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable. It does not mean you go back. It does not mean you pretend the wound was never real. Forgiveness means you are choosing to stop allowing that person to continue occupying the space inside your mind and heart that your mission actually needs. You are reclaiming your own interior. You are saying, I will not let what happened back there determine how far I go from here. You were not chosen because your path was going to be easy. You were chosen because you carry enough to keep going precisely when it is not. And the proof of that is the simplest thing in the world. You are still here right now. And now I want to tell you the thing I have been saving for this moment. The thing I need you to hear and hold on to long after this message ends. Because what is waiting for you on the other side of everything you have walked through is more real and more beautiful than anything the hardest season tried to convince you was no longer possible. I need you to hear this as clearly as anything else in this entire message. Not one chosen one who has walked honestly through this kind of storm has arrived at the other side and found nothing there. Not one. Every single person who chose to stay rooted, who chose to keep moving, who chose to protect their calling, even when the cost was someone they deeply loved, has found that what came after was worth every hard step it took to arrive. Here is what is already moving toward you right now, even if you cannot see it yet. The relationships that are coming into your life next are being built on an entirely different foundation, not performance, not the constant effort of trying to earn your place, not the exhausting work of managing how someone else sees you. Real connection, the kind where you can walk into the room as exactly who you are and feel the warmth of being genuinely received. Those connections are real, they exist. And they are being aligned with your path right now because the previous season cleared the space they needed. Your mission is also sharpening in ways you cannot fully measure yet. The clarity you are going to carry about what truly matters, about what deserves your energy and what does not, about the kind of purpose worth building an entire life around. That clarity is being forged right now in the very fire you are standing in. And when you step into the next season, you will move with a precision and a focus that would not have been possible without everything this one required you to walk through. And the strength you have built inside yourself through all of this, the kind that comes from learning to stand when every voice around you was suggesting you should sit down, that strength is now a foundation. Not a memory, not just a story you survived, a foundation, permanent, deep, something that future seasons of pressure will land on and find immovable. A tree does not grow tall because the seasons were always gentle. It grows tall because the storm forced the roots to go deeper than they ever would have gone on their own. This storm did not come to uproot you. It came to anchor you into something that cannot be moved, and the roots it pressed down into you are reaching further than you know. The Bible says in Isaiah 43:2, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you through. Not around, not spared from, through. And he was with you through every part of it. Every single part. What you are living through right now is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that makes every chapter after it possible. So let me speak directly to you right now in this final moment together. If you are in the middle of the attack as you listen to this, I want you to know something. You are seen completely. You are not imagining it, and you are not overreacting. You are not alone in any part of what you are carrying. And what is happening to you right now is not a period at the end of a sentence. It is a comma before a chapter that is going to require exactly who you are becoming right now to live it fully. Right now, before you do anything else, leave the words standing in the comments below. That is all, just that one word. I want to know you are here. I want to know you are choosing to keep going today. If this message found you at the right moment, please share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. They may not be able to find the words for what they are living through, but this might be exactly the language their heart has been waiting for. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss what comes next. Every message here is written for exactly where you are. And the light inside you was never afraid of the dark, because you are the light.